It is almost Christmas time, and so far this NHL season there have been a ton of surprises, but one of them stands out above all the others, to me at least. How well the Columbus Blue Jackets have been playing. Not just well, they have been playing absolutely amazing. The day I am recording this is December 18th, 7 days till Christmas, but they have played 28 games so far. That is the lowest amount of games played by any NHL team so far, and they are 19-5-4. At the beginning of the season, there were a lot of people, including myself, who thought the Columbus Blue Jackets would be way out of the playoff race by now. Instead, they find themselves sitting pretty comfortable in a playoff spot because the wildcard gap between the two wildcard teams and the teams below them are quite substantial. And this team had so many questions going into the season about them. I mean, is the offense good enough? Is the defense fast enough? Are they too young? Is Sergei Bobrovsky still an elite NHL goaltender? And can John Tortorella still coach an NHL team and have success? Essentially, the Columbus Blue Jackets, so far at least, have answered all those questions with yes. But if I'm completely honest with you guys, I'm not sold on this team. And yes, I say that while they are on an 8-game winning streak with their next game tonight against the lowly Vancouver Canucks. They're probably going to win that game in all honesty. But here's a fancy stat for you guys. The Columbus Blue Jackets have scored 94 goals this season. That is tied for 6th most in the NHL. And don't forget, they've played the least amount of games. How are they scoring this many goals? Well, two things. They have an amazingly good power play right now. I don't see that keeping up all season. And their shooting percentage, 5-on-5, power play, whenever, is ridiculously high. Do I expect those percentages to go down? Absolutely. When? Who knows? The Calgary Flames and the Colorado Avalanche did it for an entire season. They both made the playoffs. And the next season, they regressed big time. Colorado, Calgary, Columbus. Maybe it has to do with the letter C. But both Colorado and Calgary had an amazing season with a ridiculously high shooting percentage and power play. The next season, they weren't as good. Maybe reality will set in for the Columbus Blue Jackets this season. Maybe it will happen next season. Who knows? But eventually, in my mind, it's gonna happen. When it comes to the defense, yes, they are young, but players like Zach Werenski have put himself in the Calder conversation. One thing I'm not doubting about this team is that Zach Werenski is going to be an amazing top 2 defenseman one day, and you put him with Seth Jones, that's an amazing top 2 pairing the Columbus Blue Jackets have on the way. Sergei Bobrovsky has been absolutely spectacular for the Columbus Blue Jackets this season, but will he stay healthy all season? He is injury prone, and if he gets injured, and if he comes back, will he be as good as he was before? Will the injury affect him? And then we have to look at the guy behind the bench, John Tortorella. And honestly, I have nothing bad to say about John Tortorella this season. I can say all I want. The Columbus Blue Jackets aren't as good as they are. They're playing fantastic, and some of it, maybe not all of it, but a lot of it, has to go to John Tortorella. Now, I've always said this. I feel terrible for any coach that has to go to a new team mid-season. I mean, you want the off-season, you want the preseason, you want time to build relationships with your players. Make sure everybody on their team knows their role and what to expect in the upcoming season. But when a coach goes to a new team mid-season, he has no time to build a relationship with players. Make sure the players understand their roles. Half the time, they have a game the next day or two. I have no doubt in my mind that if the Columbus Blue Jackets hired John Tortorella in the offseason, he would have had time to build a relationship with Ryan Johansson, and Ryan Johansson might have still been on the team. Now, is that good for Columbus? Who knows? Seth Jones is playing very well for them, and Ryan Johansson is having a lot of success in Nashville. Maybe the trade was beneficial for Columbus, but John Tortorella did a good job this season, I think, in building a relationship with players in the offseason, making sure they understood what to expect in the upcoming season, and that is a huge reason why the Columbus Blue Jackets are playing so well. Now, 28 games into the season, that is a small sample size, but you can't ignore the fact that they've won 8 games in a row. You don't get lucky 8 games in a row. You have to be doing something right, and they are. I've watched their games. They're playing good hockey, and they've had some really good players step up. Sam Gagner has 13 goals. I didn't expect Sam Gagner to get 10 all season. He has 13 in 28 games. Cam Atkinson is establishing himself as a really good top 6 forward. And like I said earlier, Zach Werenski has put himself in the Calder conversation. I just think personally, and I'm sure a lot of the fancy stat people out there agree with me, eventually the Columbus Blue Jackets' luck is going to run out. Will it happen early enough for them to fall out of the playoff position, or will it happen too late in the season for it to even matter about the playoffs? Or will it not happen this season at all, and they just be really good all season, and then next year it hits them? Who knows? Thank you guys so much for watching. Please email me at theshanaclan19@gmail.com and tell me, are these Columbus Blue Jackets for real or not? Also, please like my page on Facebook. It's all about hockey. It's called The Hockey Gods, and the link to that can be found down below. Also, I know a lot of you guys have mixed opinions on John Tortorella as a coach, but you can't deny he's had success in the NHL. He's going for his 500th win tonight against the team he most recently coached, the Vancouver Canucks. Will he get it? We'll see.